thesis of how do you, there's a recording. Basically how you land your dream job, especially coming from a very non-traditional background. It's something that I specialize in and I love talking about. So a quick background about myself. My name is Jonathan Javier. I'm the CEO, co-founder of Wansulting, where we help turn underdogs into winners. But before all this, I actually was like many of you in your careers or your job search right now. I was applying to hundreds of jobs, expecting responses back from one of these so-called, in quotations, dream companies, when in fact, I never really did. And when I did, the only response I would get was a rejection email saying, unfortunately, we've decided to, AKA a rejection email. Who here has gotten one of those? If you have, put me in the comments. Let me see. Who here has gotten one of those? A rejection email. And it's like, dang, like I applied to this job. I put all my effort into applying to this. I didn't even get an interview. Like, what the heck? Right? That was literally like me. However, and yes, Monique said too many, very defeating. 100%, I agree. But by actually utilizing LinkedIn, I actually got my first job at Snapchat. So I worked at Snapchat specifically in product operations. I actually worked with a bunch of people from USC. A lot of Trojans. There's a lot of Trojans and Bruins. They always used to fight against each other. Which one's better? Probably Trojans, right? Wink, wink. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I was at Snapchat for about 8 months. So it was my first job out of university, and they actually decided to outsource our whole team. So I was like, what? It's literally 8 months into my first role. What's up with that? Right? However, by using LinkedIn again, I was actually able to land my next job at Google. So I worked at Google. I moved to the Bay Area. I was there for about 2 years in their sales strategy and ops team. And then that's when I started consulting when I was at Google because I saw a lot of people who came from these non-traditional, no connections, didn't even know how to create a resume, nor how to tie a tie. I noticed that many of them weren't able to get into these respective big top tech or top companies. So decided to start consulting to help people get there. And then last but not least, I was at Cisco for about a year after being at Cisco, Google for two. And at Cisco, I got affected by layoffs again because of COVID layoffs. And that's when I started to decide to pursue consulting full time. But that's a little bit about my career path. But the crazy thing, everybody, is if I told y'all that I actually, for all my roles at Snapchat, Google, and Cisco, I actually never really applied to them. Would you believe me? Yes or no? Would you believe me? Yes or no? Yes, no, maybe so. No one. Cole, thank you. You believe me. I know one person who believes in me. Just kidding. Monique said Google is hard to get into. Patricia said yes, networking. Oh, you've already been to one of my workshops or seen some of my content, huh, Patricia? No, I'm kidding. Kelly said recruiters. Yeah. Brad said yes. Well, yeah, everybody. For my jobs at Snapchat, Google, and Cisco, I actually never really applied to them. I just used LinkedIn and networking. So today I'm going to talk about two topics today, which is number one, how do you build that perfect resume so you get seen by these recruiters and hiring managers? And number two, how do you network to land your dream job? Does it sound good? Yeah. Oh yeah, Victoria, I can't see it either. Yeah, Julia, if you could figure out how to do the comments to see everybody's, that would be amazing because I'm very interactive. I see a bunch of people commenting. So if not, it's totally fine. I'll just read out people's comments. Okay. But cool. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about those two topics today. Who's excited? If you're excited, put heck yeah in the comments. Let's see it. Put heck yeah. Heck yeah. All right. I see Monique, Michael, Brad, Andrew, Cole, Kiko, Emma. I see a bunch of them. Jackson, Jake. All right, cool. All right, let's get into it then. All right, cool. Like I said before, first topic, make the perfect resume, which is the most important foundation of how you actually get a job. And then number two, how to actually get hired. Oh, can y'all see the comments? Can everybody see the comments? Say Julio in the comments, and let's see if we see all the comments. Say it, Julio, Julio. Oh no, 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 he can't. Julio. Oh no. Oh, actually, maybe they can. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, Julio's gonna figure it out. He's gonna add this to his resume after. Okay, cool. We'll be like, I figured problem solved and figured out how to turn on the comments, resulting in X amount of participants. Look at that. I already built his resume. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Cool. So, how to make the perfect resume? You can use AI, you can use anything, but I'll just teach you exactly the foundations of how to make that resume. Oh, great. Everybody sees the comments. Cool. All right. So, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to read this quote right here. It's Lily says, uh, Design is a silent ambassador of your brand. What does that mean? Can anybody describe to me what does that mean? Design is the ambassador of your brand. This is this is a known quote by this person named Paul Rand. He's very well known. He's so well known that when I took this picture from online, I didn't know who he was. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But does anybody know what this means? Any guesses? There's no wrong guesses. I'll wait 5 seconds. I learned something at Google where if you wait 10 seconds and you don't say anything, someone will eventually say something. But it's okay. I won't do that. Okay. Design speaks to who you are. Thank you, Monique. See, it worked, right? That was only 3 seconds. Okay. So yes, it does. And so let me give you an example real quick. Look at the resume at the left and then look at the resume at the right. If you had a few seconds to look at this resume, which one would you have rather interview? Or which one would you see the important metrics from? The one at the left or the one at the right? The one at the right, right? But you all just said that in a few seconds. Is that right? No pun intended, right? So as you can tell, you literally made a decision on what to look at. You looked at the right one and you said you're going to read it, right? Now, everybody, look at the resume at the left. What are some words to describe this resume? You could just say it out loud in the comments. What are some words to describe this resume? Ugly. Oh my God, Cole. That's a strong word. Trash. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. We gotta put some filtering here. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Loud fonts, scattered, not organized and cohesive. That's right. Weak, messy. Oh my gosh. So many words, so many negative words, right? Imagine someone saying that about your resume. I'd be pretty sad, right? But how about the one at the right? If you're comparing the one at the left and the one at the right, what would you say about the one at the right? What are words to describe this resume in one word? Consistent. Ooh, professional. Nice, nice. Congested, but easier to read. Yeah, cleaner. Kelly, yeah. Do you see? Oh, Maribel, structure, strong action verbs. Numbers. Omar, you already know. You already know. But you see, the resume at the right, you word made some positive words to describe it rather than the resume at the left. So I'm going to teach y'all how do you get a resume like the one at the right, right? Cool. Any questions there? Cool. But yeah, I want to make sure that your resumes are clean, concise, structured. All the positive words that you said, I want people to look at your resume and say to themselves, oh yeah, I consider that resume a part of that, right? So I remember being like many of you, right? Sitting on my sofa chair, writing my resume, thinking to myself, okay, I've written all these different words. I've kind of just throw a bunch of words in my resume, and I felt like Kim Kardashian here, very happy and excited, with a big smile on my face. But then hours later, I'd get rejections and be crying like her. All right, who here has felt like this? Put a sad face if you have. Kim K, don't cry. Okay, nobody? Oh, people have. Yeah, Cole has. There you go, Cole. Swaminathon has too. Monique is like, "Lo, yes, yes, indeed." All right. So the question becomes, how long does it take recruiters and hiring managers to read resumes? How long do y'all think? On average, how long does it take for them to read a resume? 5 seconds. Dang, Cole, have you been here already? Ahmad, Swaminathon, 6 seconds. Monique, 30 minutes? Oh my gosh, you're being generous. Kelly, Brad, you're also being generous. I'm kidding, you're not being that generous. It's 6 seconds. Wow, everybody knew that. And you're probably wondering, well, John, how the heck do you know that it's 6 seconds? Well, if you actually Google and you say, how long does a recruiter take to read a resume? It's 6 seconds. And basically asked 50 recruiters already this question. They always say a few seconds, right? But then it's like, wait, how can you make a decision off someone's resume if you only read it a few seconds? Well, if you look at the past exercise that we did, everybody, that's literally what they do because people are getting thousands of resumes and applications being submitted to their job recs. So that's why it's important to beat the 6 second test, as I like to say. Beat it, meaning you're showcasing your qualifications and skills and making sure, like many of you said, is structured, organized, and has those positive words. Okay. So let me give you an example, right? This is a 6 second test. I'm gonna give you all 6 seconds, literally 6 seconds. All right. Oh, you can ignore those words right there, but let's just say my transition got messed up, but no worries at all. That's what technical difficulties happen. But this is a 3-page resume. If you were looking at that resume for 6 seconds, I'll give you 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. In a few words, well, how would you describe this resume in a few words? If you look at it for 6 seconds. Lengthy, too long, right? Colorful, long, too much. Too much information, right? Like I don't even know where to start. It doesn't even need to tell me a few words to describe yourself on there. It's already confusing, right? You could probably just remove, if you don't even remove that, it'd still be confusing, right? So it's long, right? It's 3 pages, especially since many of you are students, you don't need 3 pages. To be honest with you, you probably only need 1 page. And someone will probably argue with me, John, you can have more than 1 page. Yeah, sure you can, but most resumes can be condensed to one, which I'll describe in a bit on how, right? So it's hard to read, right? Well, let's go to this resume. All right. This resume is from Philippines, Michael. This might be our cousin or something, right? But 6 second test. Let's do 6 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. All right, great. Tell me a few words to describe this resume you just saw. What are some words to describe that resume? Anybody tell me? Smashed, font, bunchy. Monique, you're right. Clustered, text too close together, too condensed, Kiko, right? Text is too close together, right? But did you all remember what they had on their resume? Do you remember what skills they had? Do you remember what experiences they had? Does anybody remember? No, right? Resume of a marketing professional, Jerry, right? Marketing officer somewhere, right? You don't remember, right? But as a recruiter, a hiring manager, you're probably looking at it, you're saying, oh my God, I cannot even see anything. Like literally, it's the formatting's messed up. And that's why I recommend everybody make sure you submit your resumes in PDF. Okay, just FYI. This resume is submitted in Word. That's why I got messed up. All right. And then last but not least, these resumes, right? Ignore my name. But like, for example, like take a look at these resumes for 6 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay. What are a few words to describe those resumes compared to the other ones? Cool. You said Google and Snap already, right? It's the first thing that came to mind. Google, big name, Michael, right? Anybody else? Yeah. So you see those words easy to read, Monique, way easier to read, right? So what I'm trying to say, everybody, is like, for example, Cole and Michael were able to identify, oh, this person worked at Google, this person worked at this company, because it's very simple and easy to read. It's not complex. There's no colors anywhere. There's no columns or like everything is like, all right, let me go here, 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 here. It's very simple, easy to read from top to bottom, right? And so that's what I'm trying to advocate for each of you. When you're creating your resume, you want to make sure that the resume is easy to read. So you get the recruiter or hiring manager to keep on reading. Nowadays, I just spoke with a recruiter a couple of days ago, and she said that typically she gets around 100 candidates, 100 applicants who applies to a job. She just posted a job about 24 hours before I spoke to her. She had already had 200 applicants. So you got to think to yourself, if a recruiter or hiring manager has only a limited amount of time to find 10 candidates to interview, how can you be a part of the 10? And the first part of that is the design and organization of your resume. Okay, any questions there? I go through this first. It seems very simple and very basic, you're probably thinking to yourself, but this is one of the vital, most important parts because it just makes sure the recruiter keeps on reading their resume. Okay, any questions there? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, cool. Okay. So then comes a question, well, how do you use AI to make your resume stand out, or how do you just build a good resume in general? Right? Who here has that question? You're like, well, John, like you told me all this stuff to design my resume. Well, how do I make it? Right? So the answer to this is pretty simple. All you have to do is do this. All right. So you can use ChatGPT. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you really can, right? You can use ChatGPT to make your resume, but also I'll just teach you exactly how to do it if you don't want to use ChatGPT. I'll literally show you exactly how to do it. Okay. So let's do an example. Can someone give me an example of what someone give me a company in a position that they're currently in right now? Well, even Julio, why don't you give me your position right now at USC?
Career advisor.
Nice. Okay, let me load up a doc real quick. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm throwing this up right here so y'all can see. Also teach you how to use it on ChatGPT as well, but just FYI, I want to show the basics before going into it real quick. Let me see if I can I escape from here? Oops. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So you're a career advisor, right, Julio?
Yes.
And what do you do as a career advisor?
Student facing, which means one-on-one advising for like mock interviews, job search, internship search. We could do programming, event support, um, collaboration with other departments in student life.
Got you. Got you. Okay, great. So then everybody can read this, right? So typically what people will have on their resume is something like this, like work with students to help them with their with interviews. Okay. This is what typically people will have. They'll have a basic responsibility simply like this. Yeah, I work with students to help them with interviews, right? What's missing from there? Does anybody know what's missing from there? This is how most people's resumes look. And if your resume looks like this, feel free to say me, right? Because it's okay if it is, right? Numbers impact metrics. Yes, exactly. So what I like to follow everybody is I call this a HAMS method. Oops. Cool. So I like to follow this HAMS method for each resume bullet, right? Number one, does it have a hard skill? And a hard skill is basically a platform or a specific a platform or a particular skill that's directly related to the job you're going for, right? Action verbs. Does it have an action verb? And the action verb is something that relates directly to what you did in your role. Number three, does it have metrics, like you all said? So does it have quantifiable metrics or percentages that showcase the impact? Brad, I just mixed yours together, right? And then lastly, structure, right? Is it structured? Is the resume, well, it's structured in a way which is very easy to read, right? If you do this for each of your resume bullets, it's so simple to how to create a resume. So how you can do this is basically this. Does it have an action verb? It actually doesn't have a strong action verb, it's just work, right? But Julio said, oh yeah, I advise people, which is exactly related to career advisor. So you advised, right? You advised for mock interviews, right? Students with, and then I asked myself, okay, metrics. Well, how many people did you work with, Julio? How many people did you work with, for example?
Let's just say last week we had like 5 mock interviews.
Five. You had five. How many do you do per month?
That I don't know. Maybe that's something that I should probably look into. But I per month, I like 15, 20 last month.
20? Let's say 20. But you see how I didn't just go with the weekly one to five because it seems a little bit lower. I did the monthly. So I said 20 monthly, right? So I advised 20 students on internships. And then you're like, on what? On mock interviews, internships, and preparing for events, right? I'm just making it up. So that's your responsibility, everybody. You put the first part as the responsibility, and then you separate it with the comma at the end right here, right? And then what did this result in? So Julio, if I ask you, for the 20 students, how many of them landed jobs? Or how many of them landed interviews? Do you know?
I don't, but let's just say half.
Yeah. And uh, you see that? Then it says hard skill. Well, oh shoot, I forgot to put out at a hard skill on Handshake. See? So I added the platform. But you see how I created it from this to this? So now I have exactly what did he do? What did Julio do? Oh, Julio helped advise 20 students. For what? Oh, they mock interviews, internships, preparing for events. On what? On what platform? Oh, Handshake. Resulted. What's the result? Oh, yeah. Resulted in internship attainment. Attainment, not attainment. Attainment by 50%. See? So that's how I basically build any resume bullet that y'all want. Okay. Any question there? Does that make sense? That's basically how you can do it. So then comes the question, well, John, I don't want to, can't AI just do this? Well, yeah, You could, right? Remember that whenever you use AI, what I recommend everybody is when you use AI, just remember that AI will only get you 80% of the way there, and then you have to edit it accordingly. So I'm going to show you two ways of how you can do it. We have a tool actually that you can do it for free, that you can literally do it, but you can also use ChatGPT. It just depends on what you want, right? So I'm going to give you both options. So yeah, I recommend 3 to 4 sweet spot, 2 minimum, 5 max. Typically, if you have more than 5, a lot of them can be consolidated into 3 to 4, to be honest with you. Okay. So let me load it up real quick. I'm gonna load ChatGPT, show you all real quick. Cool. I'm gonna also load Consulting AI so y'all can see both of them at the same time. Okay. Cool. Okay. Let me look here. Well, I have a new profile, so cool. Okay. Cool. Okay. So like I said before, let's just use Consulting AI first. This is our platform. I'll give you all access to it after. You can literally use it. Here, I'll literally share this with y'all too. I'll share it with at the end so you all can get access to it. But basically, all you do is go here, and then let's just say that we had the same one right here that Julio had, work with students to land interviews. Just put here, and then for example, is a career advisor. Very simple. And then what'll happen is it'll actually be, see, look at that. It literally did the same thing that I basically did. It's kind of crazy, right? So basically you can just add this directly to the resume. And we have a very ATS friendly resume template that you can use. And you also can get the resume score here. Okay. And you can see the details. But this is a free account, for example, and then you just edit accordingly. So Julio said 50 students monthly who tailored in is resulting in a 50% job placement. See? Within X amount of months. So Julio, we forgot to put X amount of months of graduation. We should have just added it there. Whatever months of graduation, 6 months, I assume. You see? Very simple. Another way that you can do it is just go to ChatGPT. Like I said before, let's take this. This is my current resume bullet. Right? This is, I want to follow this structure. Let's go here. Let's take this information. Example of an ideal resume bullet. You see how I give ChatGPT a bunch of context. You'll probably see online where people are just like, oh yeah, just say, make me a resume bullet that does this. But you have to give examples for ChatGPT to understand it. And you have to have some level of prompt engineering, right? Create me a resume bullet. That, like that. See? So then now I have all this and you see the breakdown right there. And then you can just edit the percentages accordingly. Okay. Very simple. You put the resume bullet. Oh, I want to follow this structure. This is an example of a good resume bullet. So you have the foundation so everybody can see what it's about. Okay. Any questions there? Okay. Awesome. All right. Cool. Let's keep going, everybody. Let's keep going. Okay. So like I said before, yeah, feel free to use either or. I'll attach Consulting AIs here so y'all can use it. Actually, I'll send it to y'all at the end so everybody can stay. Okay, cool. All right, let's keep going. Networking to your dream job. So, well, actually, before I go, what's everybody's energy level at right now? What's everybody got right now? What's everybody's energy level? What do we got? A 9? Monique, you're almost there. Cole, you're still at a 6. Oh, Kiko, you're at a 10. See it. I love to see it. All right, cool. Oh, Victoria said, what's your recommendation on stars versus hams? Stars, or if you're talking about interview, I mean star if you're talking about interview. Um, then yeah, I mean I recommend a star method for interview prep, like that situation, task, action, result. I'd actually recommend not star, but CAR, context, action, result. Or actually, what's even better, and there's so many acronyms, I'd actually recommend RCAR. which kind of silly, sounds silly. RCAR is basically results, context, action, result. When you interview everybody, you talk about what results you drove first to basically get people interested to keep on listening. Okay? That's what I'd recommend. Okay. Awesome. Cool. And by the way, here's the link to Consulting AI if any of you are interested. I'm just going to send it right there if any of you want to have access to it. Okay. Cool. All right, network to your dream job, everybody. Okay, cool. So, does everybody know what this is right here? Has anybody seen this? Has anybody seen this? What is this? Does everybody know? LinkedIn. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Kiko, that's why you're at a 10, right? All right. So, has anybody here ever applied to one of these jobs and got an interview? And if so, how many jobs did you apply to before even getting an interview? Is anybody here? Hundreds. Yes. Swaminathan, yes. Swaminathan. I realize that you have this basically Jonathan Swaminathan. We have the same last syllable there. You just gotta switch the first part. Okay, cool. So yeah, I remember, like you said before, people apply to hundreds of jobs on LinkedIn Easy Apply, and it's easy apply for a reason, aka it's easy to reject you. And I remember feeling this way where I was applying to these jobs, right? Putting in my phone number, adding in the questions, years of experience. And then I was like, all right, fine, with my coffee in hand. I'm like, all right, I applied to 100 jobs. Great. Easy apply, AKA easy to get rejected. And I was like Steve Carell here from The Office, right? Who here has felt like that? Any of you? Top to five alums of current roles, got 2 interviews. There we go, Cole. You're literally tackling what I'm about to tackle. Okay, cool. So how can you find a job during these times where the job market is in quotations bad? How can you actually find a job during these times? Does anybody know? How can you find a job? Like what? The job market's so bad. You've probably seen this a bunch of times. A bunch of companies are doing layoffs, which is true, right? Has anybody have any guesses? Warman networking, how to network? Yeah, Ahmad, I got you. I'm gonna tell you right now. Yep, people don't accept my new connection request. Totally fine. I'm gonna show you all exactly how to do it. Okay. Yep. It's by watching Netflix. No, I'm kidding. Don't watch Netflix. You don't have to watch Netflix. Anybody have Netflix recommendations, by the way? Anybody watch some new shows on Netflix, by the way? Nobody? Yes, no, maybe so. Succession? All right, cool. I haven't seen that one. I think the last one I saw was Court of Gold, the basketball one. I don't know nobody's that one. LinkedIn. Okay, cool. That's obviously LinkedIn. Okay, so who here uses LinkedIn actively, meaning that uh they send messages to people, they create LinkedIn posts, they engage with people's LinkedIn posts, versus passively, meaning you just send messages to people. Are you active or passive? Who's your active versus passive? It's okay if you're passive. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay if you're passive. Swaminathan, you're about to turn to Jonathan with being and become active. Okay, cool. Awesome. So I'm gonna give 3 companies right here, 3 random companies. Monique, totally fine. Awesome that you just took I think the most important step everybody's to start. So y'all are on it. So I got Google here. I got Snowflake, some random startup. I don't think it's a startup. I think it's like Series C. And EY. Okay. So I had these 3 companies here. Is anybody interested in these companies? Google, Snowflake, EY. Is anybody interested? All of them. Kiko, you want all of them. That's why you're at a 10. Monique, you're Google. Okay. Perfect. No worries at all. Okay, cool. So let me show you all real quick how to do this. Okay, so let me go on LinkedIn. Oops. Yeah. Using this really bad monitor that doesn't let me go anywhere. Okay, great. Okay, so let's go on LinkedIn. Oh yeah, if y'all don't have me on LinkedIn, please add me on LinkedIn. I'll send my LinkedIn right here. Just send me a connection request saying you're from USC, and I'll add you back. Okay, personalized invite. All right. So this is LinkedIn. What do typically people do on LinkedIn to go network with people? I'll zoom in real quick. What do people typically do to network with people on LinkedIn? What do people typically do? Any guesses? Any guesses? Send post. Choo, choo, choo. No, they'll search nice hair flow, Julio. Just kidding. No, I'm kidding. No, they'll search something like, for example, like I don't know, data analyst, right? They'll search data analyst, then they'll go, okay, data analyst, awesome. I'm going to go to people, and now I'm going to connect with every data analyst that I see. Okay, great. I'm going to connect with Teresa. I'm going to connect with Emery. I'm going to connect with Farhana. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? There's 4 million people. So how are you going to reach out to 4 million people? It's impossible, right? So the way to actually do it is instead of searching for the data analyst, you want to find people who are looking for talent, Michael, right? So how you do this is actually fairly simple. There's two different ways to do this. You need to find the recruiters and hiring managers. So you have your ideal role here. Let's just say, I don't know, like I'm assuming people want to go into tech or going for engineering roles. You have engineer, right? And so when you have an engineer role, you can search for engineers, a bunch of people, right? You can, of course, do actively hiring, but the thing is, like some people aren't necessarily hiring and you need premium for that. So it's costly. What you got to do instead is you do a Boolean search. Does anybody know what a Boolean search is? If not, it's fine. But basically what I did right here is what I first do is a Boolean search is you'll find people with keywords to see that they're hiring for roles. So for example, I just searched engineer hiring, and did you know that there's 66,000 people that are probably 50% of them? You know that there's 33,000 people hiring for engineers right now? Let's get more particular. Let's say software engineer, because that's what most people go into, right? There's probably 14,000 people hiring software engineers right now. And you can tell the first person, Bandy, is hiring for a role, right? How do I know they're hiring? Right here. It's because it's right here. Right? But they never posted it, right? On LinkedIn. They didn't even post the job, right? They just posting it on their site. See, so then now I know this person's hiring for the role, and this person's literally someone I could reach out to. Right? And it's going to Vancouver because I'm in Vancouver right now, so just FYI. But if you go to the United States, for example, let's just say you go to Los Angeles, right? Whatever, San Francisco. Look, now you have Miguel who's hiring for a role, right? And you can literally see what they're hiring for in their featured or their post section. See? That's how you find the direct people. And then you're probably wondering, well, John, I reach out to all these people, they don't respond, right? Ahmad, I think you said that, right? Well, guess what? If you just go to post and then, for example, you go to past week, look at that. Like, obviously, you're not going for senior engineer. You're all still in college, so it's totally fine. Go find people who's particularly recruiting for entry level people right here. See? So now I know all these people who are hiring, who literally hiring for the past week. And now you have all these people who are actually hiring for roles. And why do you think it's important to reach out to these people? Because these people are actually active. So Ahmad, your question of, oh, I'm reaching out to all these people and they're not responding. It's because a lot of people will typically only go this route, right? The one I showed you. And then you got someone like Miguel who's here, and you reach out to Miguel, but then you realize, well, Miguel's only literally was last active 3 months ago. Maybe he was active recent. 1 week? Okay, cool. Maybe they're like 1 week, 1 week before. Okay, great. Maybe he's active, right? Yeah, good question, Bob. I'm literally going to show you how. But that's exactly how you find people who are recruiting, particularly for companies. And what I say is you search broadly first, and then you get particular. Because if you search broadly here, it's going to show all the companies that are actually hiring for roles, which are these five. And now you can find the five that are actually hiring for the roles, like Steven here, who's actually recruiting. Okay. Cool. Any questions there? But this is how you actually go find a job. And this is how I got my first job at Snapchat without actually applying. I found a recruiter from this Boolean search. This was about 8 years ago. And now people are literally finding all these people to network and connect with that are actually hiring rather than you having to go network with someone in sales. Then you go network with a software engineer. Then you network with a senior software engineer. Then you network with it's such a long time frame for you to go find someone to network with. Okay. Any questions there? Cool. Okay. Now, why does this matter, everybody? The question is probably, well, why does this matter, Jonathan? Why can't we just keep applying to jobs? Yes, you should. Please keep applying to jobs. Like you should 100% apply to jobs. I'm not saying do not apply to jobs. But let me break this down for you real quick before going into this next one. I look at recruiting as a funnel, right? So let me just make a line real quick. If it's white and it's not white, but it's fine, whatever. Let's do white. I look at it as like a funnel, right? So you have a funnel, right, where you're applying to jobs, okay? And so let's say that you have, let me get a text. Where the heck is the text box? Here we are. Well, let's ensure the shape. Okay. So we have a tier 4 here, and this is applying to jobs, right? So this is where people mostly will be, okay? How many people do you think apply to that job at Microsoft that I just showed as a software engineer? How many people do you think apply? Any guesses? How many people do you think apply to that job? 500. Oh my God. Yeah. 1,000. Let's just say 1,000, right? Great. Okay. Now the question is, how many people do you think get referred? This is the next one, referral. So referral is a random referral, I call it. So this is, for example, let's say that you're going for that software engineer role and a salesperson refers you. How many people do you think get referred? Like a referral, a random referral. That's like me referring you to that software engineer role if I was still in sales ops. How many people do you think get referred by a random referral? Out of the 500, 50. It's a good one, 50. Okay, great. Now there's two other tiers that people don't talk about, which is the ones I just showed you. It's tier 2, which is basically a hiring team. So do you remember everybody that was here that says we are hiring? They're typically the hiring team. They're not the manager, they're typically the team. How many people do you think get recommended by the hiring team member? That's someone who's on the actual team recommending you for the job. 10? Monique, you're on it, right? Last but not least, let's say the hiring manager. How you can find the hiring manager is typically if they have manager in their title or they say I'm hiring. It's basically the hiring manager. How many people do you think get recommended by the hiring manager? 3? Yeah. Like, let's be generous and say 3. Great. How many jobs are they recruiting for? How many software engineers are they recruiting for? How many do you think? 1, right? You see what I did here? So if you're the recruiter or hiring manager or recruiter, what would you look at first? The 1,000 applicants, or would you look at the 3 hiring manager recommendations? The 3, right? And so let's say, for example, you're only interviewing 5 people. You say, okay, hiring manager, oh, let's interview 2 of them. Let's interview 2 people. Okay, let's interview 2 more of these. I don't like any of these. So then now, guess what? I only have 1 more interview. And I have 1,000 candidates to look at. You see? So that's why people always ask me, well, John, well, I feel like they went with the internal candidate, or John, they went from a recommendation, internal recommendation. Sometimes it is true. They sometimes will do that. But the thing is, how do we beat the system when this is what they don't teach? They don't teach us. How do you not beat the system, but how do you get to this point for these people? Again, you should still apply to jobs, but I just don't want you all to get into a point where you're applying to 100 jobs and you say to yourself, I got 0 interviews. Okay. Any questions there of the breakdown? But yeah, it makes sense. It makes a lot more sense, right? When you break it down in this framework. I love going through frameworks like this because it seems like very simple. But the thing is, you get a better understanding of like how to job search through this. Okay. Cool. Okay. Just put that there, remove that. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So Minathan, please go ahead. Or you can put it in the comments and I will answer it. But this is how you reach out. I believe Ahmad was the one who asked about this. This is how you reach out. This is so simple. Just say hi, whoever. Hi, Julio. Hope all is well. You don't even have to put all is well. You can say hello. Hi, Julio. I saw that you're recruiting for whatever job. My experience and skills would be a great fit. Would love to connect. So simple. Very easy. Nothing complex. Straight to the point. Why do you think you should be straight to the point? Why does everybody think you should be straight to the point? Anybody know? Limited time. Patricia, yeah, exactly. Limited time, and a recruiter probably gets hundreds of messages. Probably not hundreds, probably a bunch of messages. Let's just be real, right? So if they're reading your message with the same logic we did for the resume, and yeah, it's a word limit. This is exactly, I think it's 150 words or something. But if you already showcase what your experiences are, what skills you have, then they're more intrigued to say, okay, I want to keep on reading this person's I want to keep reading up on this person. Send me your resume, right? And then the question comes, well, what if they don't respond? So what? Who cares? Move on to the next person. We literally saw 16,000 people, more people recruiting. So when you reach out to people, I think it's very important, everybody, to understand that some people will not respond and some people will, but at the end of the day, you only need one person to respond in one job. So that's exactly why. Okay. Cool. Yeah, software engineer filtered by people aren't that great is great. Good question. So what I would recommend is I would actually put university recruiter, because university recruiters are the ones that are hiring for interns. So you could put SWE, you could put software engineer hiring, or you could put software and SWE intern hiring, you could put university recruiter engineer hiring like that. Those are a lot better to find because university recruiters are the ones who are typically hiring. The ones for software engineers, for example, if you just graduated, those are entry level, but for internships, it's totally different. University recruiters are the ones who are in charge of that. Okay. Anytime. Okay. But yeah, very simple personalized invite. Again, personalized invite is you should have connections to that to do that. Okay. And then once they add you back, you just send a message like this. You can take a screenshot of this, please do. Just make it put in your own words. Just say thanks for connecting. I appreciate connecting with Financial and whatever. If you want, you just say thanks for connecting. Yeah, it's fine. Then you say where you found the role, why you're interested in it, talk a little bit more about your experiences, and then attach your resume. And then ask them if they'd be a few minutes to chat on the phone or chat through video, just chat in general. Why do you want to get them on the to chat with you instead of message? Why do you think? Put face to name, exactly, Andrea. Exactly. And another thing is like if they don't want to hop on the phone, it's fine. You don't have to force them. If they hop on a call with you, that means it's an interview. Just know that. Like if they're a recruiter, no recruiter would not hop on the call with you if they weren't interested in you. So that's how you can gauge interest and know if they're interested. Always remember to go apply to the job beforehand. If you already know the job, apply to the job first. They probably will ask you, well, Patricia, did you apply to a job yet? And if you say, no, I haven't, then you're going to say, go apply to it. So apply first. Okay, cool. Any questions there? Lastly, I get these questions all the time. Well, Jonathan, what if they don't respond? Has anybody heard that before? Oh, they don't respond. Right? It's totally fine. Move on. We saw thousands of other people that you can reach out to. It's important not to focus on one person who doesn't respond. Focus on the people who do. I reach out to people all the time, by the way, who I'm interested in chatting with, for example, about uh, for example, career directors, for example. Like I love connecting with directors of career services from like career centers because I want to understand more about what challenges you all are going through. And probably I get a 10% response rate, but I never focus on the ones who don't respond. I always focus on the ones who do. That's why we're here today. Okay. And then what happens if I can't find anyone? That's okay. Right. At the end of the day, if you can't find anybody, broaden your search as I showed you all how to broaden the Boolean search. And then lastly, should you ask for a referral? Yes or no? Should you ask? What do y'all think? No? Yes? So the answer to this is actually, well, if you're comfortable with it, the answer to this is you typically usually will. You should. So the reason why is because, and I think this also comes from very non-traditional backgrounds. I know this comes from Asian backgrounds, especially. Michael, you probably relate to me from Filipino level. But asking for things is just not in our repertoire, right? It's just something that we get a bit scared to do and nervous to do, and that's totally fine because we fear rejection, and it's human nature. Right, Ahmad? So The worst thing that can happen to everybody is if you ask for a referral, they say no. But the best thing is they say, yeah, sure. How you structure your wording is very important. So if you're not comfortable, if you're talking with them, you're not comfortable with it, then you don't get a vibe, then don't ask. But if you do, say this instead. Instead of saying, Julio, give me a referral. No, it's probably not gonna work. What if I said this instead at the end of our call? Julio, thanks so much for taking time to chat. I only have 5 minutes, 5 minutes left on our call, and very appreciative. As we've spoken about, I'm really interested at working at USC. I actually saw that there was a career advisor role open for the career center, and I know that you've had some experience while working there. I was wondering, like, how would you get an interview? And you see how I said, how would you get an How would I get an interview? How can I get an interview? I don't say, can you give me a referral? Because it's yes or no. If I say, how can I get an interview? It's an open-ended question. So then Julio could just give me advice. He could just be like, oh, yeah, you can just do this, this. Or the way that someone can help you to get an interview, if they're not a decision maker, is they say, oh, I can just recommend you. You see what I mean? I never asked for the referral. They just give it. But you see the wording of that? If they like you, they'll literally offer it. And if not, then they'll give you advice. If they say that, then you say, Julio, thanks so much for the advice. I really appreciate it. Would you happen to know anybody who's knows about this role or is in the particular field that I can connect with? You see? So then I started again. Maybe Julio will connect me with someone else. I start that same process. Okay. Any questions there? Got it. Yes, of course. Would it be best to put more importance to secure a coffee chat with a recruiter or personal? Yes. So, by the way, the one I was just saying there is when you connect with someone who's not the recruiter. If you're connecting with a recruiter, you should it should be a straight shooter. Like you should literally just say, "Hey, I'm interested in the role. I just want to apply. I'm interested," because they're already recruiting for the job. If they're not the recruiter for the role, then you have to go the way that I just told you. You don't have to straight shoot it. Instead, you say how I said it. Um, but yeah, I think what's most important is if you cannot get a coffee chat with a recruiter, it's totally fine. Again, sometimes you can't because they're so busy. So if you could get a coffee chat with the person who's the tier two, the hiring team member, who could then introduce you to the recruiter, that is key. Okay. And what's even better, everybody, if instead of them recommend, like they can recommend you. When I talk about recommendation, it's not that they send you a referral portal and then you apply through the referral portal. No, no, no. Recommendation is they actually introduce you to the recruiter. That is the way to do it. The referral portal, sure, you'll be in tier three though. Getting the actual recommendation is something important. Okay. Cool. Any questions? Cool. Awesome. Well, I sent you the Consulting AI link, everybody. So hopefully you'll get access there. This is my Instagram and LinkedIn. So please connect with me on LinkedIn. Send me a personalized invite. Personalized invite is basically, if you don't know how to do that, I'll show you how. But like basically I'll just go to Wes, for example. Go here, connect, add a note right here. If you can. I'll just add everybody who's here already. For example, I see all of you here. Look, I'm on. Perfect. There you go. So just add you, for example, just like that, as an example. Okay, cool. All right. But yeah, any questions or everything? Oh, some people have questions. Let me go back to the presentation real quick. Yeah, add me on Instagram. I post basically all the time about job search tips. So if you need it, let me know. Yeah. What is the difference between a referral and recommendation? Yeah. So referral is basically someone they send you a portal link or they say Andrea or Andrea, send me the job you're interested in, send me your resume and I'll submit it for you. That's a referral, or you apply to it. A recommendation is like if I worked at Google and because when I worked at Google, we could see everybody who's the hiring manager, recruiter. Instead, I submit the referral for you, but then I also introduce you to that person. And how that works is I either introduce you or I reach out to them for you. So I say, hey, Andrea's interested in the software engineer role. This is her resume and experiences. We'd love to introduce you. That's actually the way to do it. That is the way, like, that is, if you can get that, that's the way to do it. And you're probably wondering, well, John, like, I I uh I'm scared to do that. It's totally fine. It's totally nervous to do that. Like I said before, reach out, they don't respond. Actually, a no is better than no response, to be honest with you, because you know. But just know that some people won't respond, and that's okay. Is the consulting link the same link as the LinkedIn link? Consulting link, which one is it? The consulting AI link is different than the LinkedIn link if you're referring to that. Yeah. This link right here is my Instagram. So if you go to Instagram for my this is my Instagram. So just Jonathan Words of Wisdom. And then my LinkedIn is this one. I'll add you all here in a second. And this is my LinkedIn. So feel free to add me. It's just Jonathan Dash Consulting. Um, I'll just add you all right there. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Cool. Okay. Awesome. Oh, there's the addition note or addition sound. Cool. But any other questions, everybody? Was this helpful? Woo, of course. Yes, I'm happy. Heck yeah. What's everybody's energy level at now? What are we at now? Sent that connection 10. Kiko, you're still at a 10. There we go. There we go. Samarth, we're almost at a 10. It's okay. It's okay. Awesome. Well, yeah, I appreciate everybody here. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to LinkedIn. We also have, like I said before, you can get the resume template that I sent y'all. It's on the Consulting AI. Just create an account and you can literally just download it for free. To be transparent with you, the bullet generations, there's only 5 max, but just use the template. It's literally like everybody, like a lot of people use it. It's very ATS friendly, so just use that. It's free. Oh, and I forgot to mention on our tool. Well, I don't know if I should be saying this, but like literally there's an option you can tailor your resume for free. On the job board, if you go to the job board, you can tailor your resume for free for any job that we have there. So just FYI, if you ever want to just go around the loophole, I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm the founder, so like but you can just loophole it. Cool.
Yeah, awesome, John. Thank you today for today. I even learned a couple new things. The ham one for the bullet point structure, that was pretty neat. I never seen that technique, so something that I'll probably be using in our advising sessions now today. But yeah, awesome. Thank you for this opportunity and hoping that we can continue some future collaborations. I think a lot of the students here took a lot of things away, and very interactive. That was awesome.
You got it, Julio. Of course. And Monique asked, what's the job board site? So it's right here. It's on Once Holding AI. Once you create an account, it's on job board. Just search any job you're interested in. I just put marketing. If you click apply, yes, generate resume. Oh, I don't have like this is a new account, by the way, so it's not going to be able to do it. But you can just upload your resume and you can tailor it and it'll literally do it for you. Mhm.
Oh, great. All right.
Cool.
I think we're at
Awesome.
time. Yeah, awesome, Jonathan. Thank you for being here again.
Right on time. Yeah, anytime, everybody. Yeah, hopefully I can go to USC in person. I haven't been there in a minute, but I appreciate y'all and please stay safe during these times and let me and by the way, yeah, fight on. If anybody has any questions or if anybody lands a job or interview, let us know, let Julio know, let myself know. I'm always happy to see success of students, especially from USC. Go Trojans! Bruins suck. Just kidding.
Awesome. Okay. Have a good day.
All right, everybody, have a
Bye,
wonderful day.
everybody. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.